Hey dears, and welcome to Mars Musings of this week. I wanted to dive into something a bit more personal as my partner turned 40 this weekend, and it made me over the last few weeks reflect on changing decades. I'm 2 years away from turning 40 as well, and I'm sure many of you, either through decade changes or, big numbers such as the mid of a decade, 25, 35, 45, whatever it is, that questions come up and that we really start thinking like, what is it we want to do? What is it we want to leave behind? What legacy it is that we want to live by? And as I'm approaching, I was also thinking like, wow, I've got kind of 1.5 years to really craft something, to really move towards that decade. What is it that I want to still accomplish? For lack of a better word. I'm not saying like we have to get to goals or things like this. And so I came up with 3 things that really touched me, and I'm going to share them soon with you. They're still sitting with me and kind of incubating, and I'm really feeling into them to see how I can make it happen. But it made me start thinking about each of us and our paths. I'm not a person who's all into goal orientation and getting things done. At the same time, I do feel that we need a kind of direction to go towards for the, let's say, this year, the next year, the decade ahead. Who is it we want to be? What is it we want to live by? And for lack of a better word, what do we still have on our bucket list to do? Because it does feel like if we want to leave our footprints, our legacy, or whatever behind, that it's also important to review that, to see, okay, what is it that we really want to create? What is your life creating? What is this next decade creating? What are these next years creating? What is this turn creating? Or what is it you still want to put out there? Because I realize we're halfway through the year and it's just gone by so fast. And so there are days that tick by, there are hours that tick by, weeks, months. And at the same time, it's about living in the moment and yet thinking about, okay, what is it I'm here to do? What is it I still want to put out into the world? And so I really think it's that balance that I brought last week of the masculine and feminine, the flow and the structure, and kind of emphasizing a little bit further on that. How do we take that journey further towards the next decade, towards the years or whatever else it is that we want to create? And so for me, I would love for you, if this resonates anyway, to think about what it is you still want to put out into the world, either before your next birthday, before the next decade, before the end of this year, what it is you still want to create. Because we have this creative force, we have this time, we have all of these abilities, and now it's a matter of putting them into the world and manifesting them. And so I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your experience, of how you deal with this, how you look at it. It really dawned on me just because my partner turned 40 that I was nearing that, and I was like, wow, what is it that I still want to do before that change? And I feel it's a big one. We had a beautiful moment. I created him a book from letters and messages from all his friends with pictures to review on who he is as a man. And I think it's important that we also have this review part, that we can celebrate ourselves and see who we want to be as well. And so I'm inviting that for you. So wherever you are on your journey, if it's for the end of this year, if it's until your next birthday, if it's for the next decade, to see if there's maybe 3 things that you would like to still create, make possible, put your energy towards, to really craft into the world. Because at the end of the day, it's us who are creating our paths, the next footsteps that we're taking to really make things possible, and also leaving that legacy, for lack of a better word, behind, so that these things are out in the world and that we're sharing our gifts into the physical form in whatever ways that might be. So let me know yours. I would love to hear from you. What comes through when you reflect on this. A little side note, a little PS, that also when someone told me it's really beautiful to have some role models, to have someone that we want, like we draw upon the qualities into us that we want to manifest, that we still want to live through. And so if for you, maybe the bucket list that's not there, or the things you still want to accomplish, and really bucket list is for lack of a better word, but it's what are the qualities you want to cultivate in your life as you move forward. So I hope this inspires you in some way. I'm still letting mine bubble up, gestate, and see where they want to go. And then I look forward to sharing them with you too, and to hearing about yours, so we can keep cheering each other on our paths together. Have a beautiful week. We have a lot of bank holidays, a lot of celebrations here in Portugal, Portugal Day and all the Saints Days, a lot of Sardines Fest on the road, and sending you love from here. And as we approach solstice, also really holding that intention in that I would like to to share with more next week. Big, big kiss and a beautiful week ahead.